topic of today class is history of mycology. This mycology comes under the plant pathology topic or plant pathological subjects. Is objective of the today class is to introduce the students about major contribution of the world scientist in the field of mycology in context to plant pathology. These are some major scientists listed over here, like Anton de Berry, Anton von Leeuwenhoek, and P.A. Mixelli, which is the great plant pathologist in the field of mycology. Next, the learning outcome of the today class is at the end of the lecture, students will able to understand about the major contribution of the world scientist in the field of mycology. Now, we can see here one by one history of the mycology. The first in history in 1675, Dutch worker, that is Anton von Leeuwenhoek, developed of the first microscope, and in 1729 an Italian botanist P.A. Micheli reported the fungi comes from spores. That's why he is considered of the father of mycology. In 1755, French botanist, that is Tillet, published a paper on burnt or stinking smut of wheat, and he discovered burnt as a disease of wheat. In 1807, French scientist I.B. Prevost showed the burnt of wheat is a fungal, and showed the evidences that diseases is caused by the microorganism. Especially this is caused by the fungal pathogen. And next, in his continuation, in 1821, E.M. Fraisse published a Systema Mycologicum for naming of the fungi. In 1821, Robertson of England stated that the sulfur is effective against peach mildew. Peach mildew is a kind of plant fungal diseases. Under this, sulfur was effective to control the mildew diseases. And in 1845, as you know, the iris of the potato famine due to Phytophthora infestans was caused by the caused starvation of the millions of the peoples, and they migrated of 1.5 million people. And next one is in 1858, J.G. Kuhan published a first textbook in plant pathology. That book was The Diseases of Cultivated Crops, Their Cause and Their Management or Control. In 1861, Anton de Berry from Germany worked out the life cycle of the potato, that is from late blight especially, and first to prove the experimentally this was due to the Phytophthora infestans is the cause of the potato, that is late blight. Means Anton de Berry introduced the causal organism of the late blight of potato, which was responsible to cause disease, that is Phytophthora infestans. It is a kind of fungal pathogens, and he is considered of the father of plant pathology also. Uh, in 1869, in England, losses coffee production to coffee rust, and forced to grow tea. In 1874, Robert Hurtig published a book entitled Important Diseases of Forest Trees. In 1875 to 1912, Griffel discovered the method of artificial culture of the microorganism. He also illustrated the complete life cycle of the cereal smut fungi and diseases caused by them. In 1877, M.S. Voronin discovered the name of the club rod and discovered and named the club rod root of cabbage pathogen as Plasmodiophora brassicae. Now, in 1878, M.S. Voronin also found uh, out of the life cycle of the potato boll disease in potato. In 1878, downy mildew of grapevine was introduced into Europe from America. Now, next in continuation, in 1881, H.M. Ward worked out the life cycle of the coffee leaf rust. He is called as the father of tropical plant pathology. Means father of tropical plant pathology is H.M. Ward. In, in 1882, Robert Hurtig published a textbook as named as Diseases of Trees. He is called as father of forest pathology. In 1885, PMA Millardet accidentally discovered the Bordeaux mixture. It is an important mixture to cure the fungal pathogen, especially downy mildew and kind of fungal pathogens. And he was accidentally introduced uh, this Bordeaux mixture, and it was controlled at the downy mildew in grapevine. In 1885, A.B. Frank defined the name mycorrhizal association in plant roots. In 1887, Burgundy mixture was introduced by Masson of France. In 1894, Swedish scientist Ericsson discovered the phenomena of physiological races in cereal rust fungus, that is Puccinia graminis, which is responsible to cause rust disease in plants, especially in cereals. In 1904, A.F. Blackesley, the American scientist, founded the heterothallism in rhizopus. In 1904 also, R.H. Biffen was the first to show the resistance to pathogens in plants can be inherited as a Mendelian characters and pioneer in genetic of the plant disease resistance. In 1970, E.C. Stackman demonstrated the physiological form of the stem rust of wheat. Now, in continuation, also in 1918, E.J. Butler published a book on fungi and diseases in plants. It was very important book at that time, which was published by E.J. Butler in 1918. He made exhaustive study on Indian fungi and the disease caused by them. He is called as the father of modern plant pathology in India. He joined as the first director of Imperial Bureau of Mycology, that is Commonwealth Mycological Institute CMI. Now it is also known as CAB, International Mycological Institute in Kew, England in 1920. He began the General uh, Review of Applied Mycology also with S.G. Jones. He wrote Plant Pathology in 1949. Next one is in 1929, Sir Alexander Fleming isolated the antibiotic penicillin from fungi Penicillium notatum. Next one is in 1932, H. N. Hansen and R. E. Smith were the first to demonstrate the origin of physiological races through heterokaryosis. And also in 1934, uh, W. H. Tisdale and I. Williams studied the organic fungicide by discovering alkyl dithiocarbamates, which was the very important organic fungicide responsible to cure the plant diseases. In 1938, H. N. Hansen found the dual phenomena of the fungi imperfecti. In 1942, uh, H. S. Floor developed the uh, phenomena or hypothesis gene for gene hypothesis in flax rust disease. Now, in continuation, in 1943, a great Bengal famine. It was due to fungal pathogens, that is Helminthosporium oryzae, that was responsible to cause the severe damage in plants and caused the death of the more than 2 millions of the people in West Bengal in India, and several peoples were migrated due to lack of the food, and the rice is the staple food of that part of the people. And in the 1943, Diamond H and Horsfall, uh, Diamond Huberger and Horsfall discovered the ethylene bis dithiocarbamates, which was very effective to control the plant diseases. And in 1945, J. G. Horsfall explored the mechanism of fungicidal action, and in 1948, B. B. Mundkar started the Indian Phytopathological Society. It was a very empirical society established by the V. B. Mundkar in 1948 with its General Indian Phytopathology, and he was written a book named as Fungi and Plant Diseases in 1949, which is the second book in the plant pathology in India. Now, in 1951 to 57, E. A. Goman was one of the first uh, investigate the physiology of the wilts caused by Fusarium species. He put forth the involvement of toxin, especially toxin theory in the wilt disease of the plants. In 1952, N.F. Jensen suggested the blending of the different resistant genotypes of similar agronomic characters in fields of oats to reduce the spread of the rust and losses from rust. Next one is in 1952, Annie Borlaug and associates developed the multi-line cultivars for wheat, uh, and in 1953, Pontecorvo and his associates demonstrated the parasexualism in fungi. Now, in continuation, in 1956, J.G. Horfors again published a book entitled Principle of Fungicidal Action. In 1957, E.C. Stackman with J. G. Harrer wrote a book, Principle of Plant Pathology. It was also a very important book in plant pathology. In 1963, J. E. Vanderplank found the vertical and horizontal types of the resistance in crop plants. And in 1966, Van Smelling and Marcel Kulka were the first to find out the systemic fungicide, that is oxanthin compounds, that is carboxin and oxycarboxin, which is responsible to cure plant diseases, especially from the fungal pathogen. In 1972, G. Rangaswamy wrote a very important book on diseases of crop plants in India. Next one is practices question. Uh, these are the some practices question listed over here. First one is, who is the father of plant pathology? Just you have to write the name of the father of plant pathology. Write the details contribution of the Anton Devery in plant pathology. You have to write the contribution of the Anton Devery. Who is B.B. Mundkar? Just you have to write who is B.B. Mundkar, their contribution in field of plant pathology. Write in details about the Bengal famine. And the next one is write some major contribution of the scientist in the field of mycology especially. Now, these are the some references listed here. Uh, you can see the reference, and you will study in detail about the plant pathology. Thank you very much for listening the class.